obviously you want to start off on a good foot. I mean, for me to sit here and say that I wanted us to, not start off the way we did, I would be lying to you. So I think we did a great job of executing our game plan, and that's really what I was excited to see, is whether or not we could stick to what we were trying to do instead of who we're facing or who was in the other batter's box or who was behind the plate umpiring. And I thought we did, especially on Sunday, to be honest with you, we did a really good job of controlling our plan. So that I'm pleased with, and obviously we have our hands full this weekend, so it'll be good stuff.
I guess, I don't know how to word this question. Obviously, you didn't play the toughest competition, right? I mean, Michigan State on that Saturday was good.
Yes, absolutely.
Win. But obviously, it's upping a little bit. I know you said you focus on yourself, but hard not to look at the rankings, which, congrats, 25 now.
Yes.
It's hard not to look at the rankings of who you're about to play, Coach, and say, all right, now we can really see where A&M is at.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we know that we're playing a bunch of ranked teams. We know we're playing a bunch of postseason teams. But for me, this is a great opportunity for us to really dive into A&M softball, our process, what we work on, what our plan is. I think there's some things that we did this weekend regardless of who we're playing. Like, we didn't give up a lot of free bases, right, in the circle. And so that's going to be key for us. Coco took, I think, like 4 extra 60s, right? Like 4 extra bases. We had some hit by pitches. We had Trinity. We had some big-time RBIs when we had people on base. So I think those types of things, no matter who you're playing, that's going to help us. And so that's really what I'm excited about this weekend, is being able to test that, right? Of like, can we stick to that plan when it gets hard, And I love the hard. I feel like that's where you start to find out what your DNA is. And so it won't be an indication of exactly who we are this weekend, because I think we're going to get better. Honestly, I think there's going to be bumps, and I think there's going to be highs, and I think great teams learn from it. I mean, you look at some of the teams that lost this weekend, right? Like, softball is just evening out. There's a lot of parity, and you got to show up every day. So I think we're going to learn some valuable tools that we're going to be able to apply later on in the season.
You're hitting the road for 3 weekends in a row.
Yes.
What do you hope to learn from your team when that adversity does hit?
Like, who comes out and who kind of stands up and takes the reins, to be honest with you. And I talked to Rylan about this a little bit, because she was pretty frustrated offensively, and I told her, I said, listen, it's going to come. You're putting in the work, and she is putting in the work, and she even came yesterday and put in extra work on her own. Like I said, you can't stop doing those things. And I said, the other piece of this is, from a defensive standpoint, she's our rock, right? Like, she is our Hoover, and our young players are looking at you, Rye. Like, how are you responding for things not going your way? Like, she barreled a couple of balls this weekend, and it was right at somebody. And so, she's frustrated, and, she's human. But I think if you take your concentration away from things aren't going your way and how to help this team, I think things start to fall into place. So, I don't know. I think you're going to start to see what this team is made of, to be honest with you.
And what you do see, like, obviously it's early in the season, so like what we see might not what we're seeing later in the season, right? Is that something you kind of preach to them, or you don't want them to like get too in over their heads with how they perform in the first couple weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think really, something that we're going to talk about today is we can celebrate, like, Trinity obviously getting co-SEC Player of the Week. That's huge, right? Like, we should be excited about it, but like, that's not what this is about. How are we going to beat Oklahoma State? How are we going to beat Arizona? How are we going to beat UCF? How are we going to beat USF, like Nebraska? And so really, it's just like, we can celebrate those things, but that's like business. Like, at the end of the year, we can celebrate whatever it is that we earned or did not earn. We can celebrate that and really truly look back and realize. But I think when you're in it, the most important thing is for us to just we're in a business trip. We're on business.
So Julia facing Oklahoma State, she's going to swing some fences?
Julia is actually not that. Yeah, she's not that kid. She'll be locked in. Yeah, but she's it'll be a good game. I think the first 2 games will be fun. Yeah, so for sure. Yeah.
What do you make of her her start? She's up on fire.
Yeah, she's
9 hours
terrible.
out.
Yeah, no. No, Julia's she's a special player. She's a dynamic player. She's been special since I've known her, since the age of 12 when she was playing 18 and under gold ball. I don't know. When Julia's in the right kind of headspace, she is somebody that can make your team so much better. Just talking the game, talking to the pitcher. She works, great behind the plate. And then obviously she can change a game in the box. And so she's just, you don't always get one of those. And she's truly a dynamic, softball player.
Amari and Keeley,
Yeah.
Can they keep this up?
Well,
At that part of the lineup,
yeah.
that really does big things for you. Turn it over.
Absolutely. It's a huge part of our success is going to be whether or not we can turn that lineup over. And, yeah, I mean, Amari, I think her and I had some, jokes in the dugout this weekend because her first couple of at-bats, I was like, sister, you've been doing this your whole life. Like, come on. And then you saw as the, weekend, progressed, she did a much better job. And Keeley, I'm telling you guys, is like ice in her veins. Like, since she's gotten here, like, it doesn't matter if she might get beat, she might look ugly on one pitch, and then the very next pitch, she's just very businesslike, okay, just getting information. And players like that over their career turn out to be very special. So it's early, but that kid she's a hitter.
I guess the last one for me, if you go against the toughest competition so far, you score early against Michigan State and then obviously held them scoreless. That was amazing.
Yeah.
What do you tell your team getting up early and trying to, I guess, extend that lead when you weren't able to in that game? That was the only thing I guess
Absolutely.
I would say you could work on.
Oh yeah, that and our short game, our bunting game.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. I think just teaching them. I thought we did a great job of coming out, like you said, out of the gates. Right, we put up some crooked numbers, but we have to learn to finish. You gotta, I always go back to the Karate Kid, and he's like, finish him. That's kind of that mentality of just continuing to have very focused and hard-nosed at bats and making it hard on the pitcher. Our goal is to tire the heck out of the pitcher emotionally, right? Physically will happen because of pitch count, but really making it hard and just fouling off pitches. Coco had an at-bat where she just fouled. Those types of at-bats really wear on pitchers.
What about taking these freshmen that you're going to really count on this year to a tournament where all the eyes are on this? Yeah. It's ESPN cameras, big-time names in the other dugout. What about that opportunity for the young kids?
Well, I think it's good because it's something that they're going to be able to experience pre-conference, because conference is obviously like that, and our next 2 weekends will be pretty high profile. And I think what it will be good is for us to teach them how to occupy their headspace, right? What does your game day look like? How does your preparation? What does your visualization look like? What's your breathing? Those types of things. That's going to be huge. And we fill their days pretty much, just to keep them busy. I don't let them just sit and be kind of stagnant at the hotel, because we have a couple of days where we play the first game and then the last game. So, but it is what it is. I haven't actually been to Clearwater with USA for the junior team. We played there, but I haven't been to this tournament, so I'm kind of excited to see what it's like. But it's going to be good. That's what I mean. It's just so many good reps that we're going to get mentally and emotionally this weekend that I think are just going to help us later on.
No beach time?
No. Yeah. I'm crazy. We are on business. Yeah.
Jonah Taylor takes away their phones.
Oh, yeah. I don't do that. Yeah.
That's is there any kind of Trisha Ford isms?
Yeah, no, none of that. I don't do that, but they're pretty much when it's on team time, it's on team time. So the phones are not with them on team time. So, yeah, we eat, I think it's important for us to really, because it's such a large team out there on the field. It's when we do team meals and stuff, there's no phones, teaching them how to have conversations and, yeah, they'll get to see, the roommates. That's always good, being on the road. And, there's a lot of your memories in college softball happen on the road. Just there'll be something funny that happens for sure that we'll talk about next week.